Antonio Marshalls at the Sacramento Miners. Now the Miners have Patrick Mahomes, and the Marshalls actually have a very good quarterback themselves in Watson. Okay, this game is in Sacramento. They were the number 1 seed. They lost their last 2 games after a 9-1 start. Now, I wasn't counting the games against the NFC, just so you know. That's how this works. Next year, I might do it differently. I'm going to see what happens. But Sacramento's definitely the top team. The winner of this game will play Houston, who has won 8 games in a row now. And they will, if they play San Antonio, they'll play in Houston. That's where the championship game will be. If they play Sacramento, Houston will be traveling to Sacramento. Okay. Either way, San Antonio is very capable of beating Sacramento today. We'll see how this all works out. The team is at full strength for Sacramento. San Antonio is still missing their number 1 running back, so they have kind of had a committee. But definitely one of the better teams. Now they're going to show some ratings here in a second. Demetrius Turner is the head coach for Sacramento. They were 9-3 on the season. DeAndre Hopkins, Tyreek Hill. You can see their numbers right there. For whatever reason, his numbers aren't that great. J.J. Watt, best defensive player, Jadeveon Clowney. They definitely got a good pass rush. So does Sacramento. Sacramento's defense was highly touted, highly ranked.
Hey everybody, it's the coach.
Okay,
this is a special edition of the divisional round playoffs on EA Sports.
So we will let these guys.
And we've got a good one in store between the San Antonio Marshalls and the Sacramento Miners. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the San Antonio Marshalls and the Sacramento Miners. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
Well documented that he's the son of a former Major League pitcher, but Pat has always said that football has fired him up in a way that baseball just didn't. He always wanted to be a football player, still has the big arm that his father had, and he uses it to send the ball downfield in a big way.
Now a play fake here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney coming with pressure. He drops him on the blitz for a loss of 12.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to air one out. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They go play action here on 1st down. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. D. Ford able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. In a wild card win last week, he had just 2 catches, and now he's got his first one here. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Now a handoff to Richard. And he stopped immediately there. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football. And this will be scooped up by the defense. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs. First time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the gun on third, Watson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had the punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Tackle made by Whitney Merciless. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a third and long. Mahomes going to throw, and it's complete to Kelsey. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there. J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get...
Oh, the pressure comes, and it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And with points at an extreme premium here in a 0-0 game, that could be a big special teams play right there.
That's an advantage play. Someone create an advantage for their team, give them an opportunity, and special teams is usually a terrific starting point for that. Blocking the punt, now they've given themselves a chance and have seized momentum.
On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll run it here. This is D'Onta Foreman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game. We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulder square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't know if there's any other way to put it, but that play was blown up right from the snap. How about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? It's almost like they were...
And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. The papers this week, it was all talk about how big of a game this was. Of course it is. It's the playoffs. It's the divisional round. But they handle it well. They score early.
They really did. Plenty of confidence exuded on that drive. No nerves showing. Terrific way to get things started. They are in control.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now back out comes the offense. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cole. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Here we go now. Blue 45.
Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up 4th. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He had 2 catches in the wild card game, and he's matched that total in the first quarter here in this one. And a first down as well. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's San Antonio football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Black 22.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And this one is incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
To throw is Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. His first catch of the divisional round goes for a first down. He had 5 catches last week in their wild card win.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No
yardage. Okay.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right down the middle. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
On play action, it's Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes. J.J. Watt in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone.
Here we go now.
I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And not a whole lot to speak of there, as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Here we go. Green 90. Green.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first
Personal
down.
foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Ready. Green 39. Green 39. Hut, hut, hut.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Delay of game, offense.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Here we go now.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Throw left side complete. That's Cole. And touchdown! A big play there. 51 yards. And his guys have made this a one-score game now.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it? Touchdowns. Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll run it now out of the gun. Room here to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there. 59 yards. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Green, 90.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Watson off play action. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dee Ford in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on third down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game plan.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 71 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end zone.
A try here for the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. On first down, Mahomes. He's going to sling this deep downfield and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on here to punt it away. And taken right at the 35. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 18 yards there and a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. From the red zone now, Watson. And it's caught. Touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Green, 90.
Mahomes to throw on second down. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Whitney Merciless in there to get him for a loss of 5. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup, as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. This 4th and final matchup on this divisional round weekend. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's AFC divisional round game. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's action. Meanwhile, in our game, we've got one half remaining to find out who goes on to the AFC title game. And to bring it all to you, let's send it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway.
Okay, big players make big plays, and we're seeing that in this game. Very shocked at the score. I mean, Sacramento, Mahomes down 31-7, but Deshaun Watson has been on point, hitting receiver after receiver. Hopkins, who had a subpar season, has come to play in the playoffs. Big touchdown, 2 touchdown receptions. Bradham, the running back, had his that 60-yard touchdown run was by far his biggest of the year. I mean, he wasn't even close. So that gives you a 31-7 lead. It's a shock believe me, it's a shock. Sacramento has beaten people all season handily. Well, except for the last few games, but that happens. So this is a shock. Now, let's not forget it's Patrick Mahomes behind in Sacramento, so a 24-point lead is not insurmountable. So we've seen this before against Brooklyn when he brought him back. So I mean, they ended up losing that game, but they still brought him back. We're gonna see exactly how this is all going to transpire, but Deshaun Watson has come out in the running game, but by committee with Richards and Bradham has been on point. I mean, you don't have the breakaway runners and the breaking of the tackles. Sacramento players have to make those tackles, and also Sacramento's gone long all season. It's been hard to stop. They've done a great job playing back and actually playing those wide receivers. So let's see what happens in the court. Now, if San Antonio wins this, they'll be going to Houston to play the Oilers. It'll be the third matchup. San Antonio beat them twice. Of course, once they didn't have their starting quarterback, so I don't know if you can really count that one, but it's just solid. So let's see if Sacramento can do what they do.
The second half of this AFC divisional round. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. And you know, both of us gave these guys a real shot coming in here, but I don't think anyone saw this on the road with this lead in the playoffs. They've looked good a lot of times this year. This is probably as good as they've looked.
Well, it's been a textbook game for them because what you talk about as a visiting team is putting the pressure on the home team. And what puts more pressure on a home team than to be behind the entire game? Because the home crowd's there really for a coronation. They expect to win. And when you're behind, it takes the crowd out of the game. And then the crowd gets a little bit uncomfortable, maybe a little bit frustrated with the home team. And that gives you an extra advantage. So they've done it perfectly. Big lead. Put everything back on the home team, and they're capitalizing on it.
Right now, that crowd, silent. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going deep for Hopkins. This is intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe.
Here we go now.
A second down run for Abdullah. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
There's no secret to beating a 3-4 when you're trying to run the ball up the middle. You have to control the guy over the nose of the center. And oftentimes, he's awfully hard to move. That's why he's there. A big guy, usually north of 300 pounds, with some agility. But somehow, you got to figure out how to move him. And most teams will double the nose. Center and a guard trying to move him to one side or the other. And when they're able to do that successfully, as just happened here, that's when you get big-time running plays.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Whitney Mercilus in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. He got 29 yards that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
They go with Abdullah again. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down. In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. He is going to find Hill here. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in with Abdullah. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them. Well, I don't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Amir Abdullah taking it in. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. Mahomes now going to lead his guys up for the 2-point try.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him. And he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the 1st. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Delay of game, offense.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Throwing on third down, Watson. And incomplete on the deep ball. So they bring out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Oh, good footwork on the spin. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. They go play action here on first down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And all the way in for the touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 77 yards. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. Mahomes now going to lead his guys up for the two-point try. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
And he's going to go down. This will count as a sack, a very short sack, taken down at the 2. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and they end up getting sacked.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The pass rush specialist, D. Ford, in on the stop.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Watson now to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. This offense so far on third down, they've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have.
We are back now.
Okay, it's like I said at the end of the halftime. This you're not going to keep Patrick Mahomes down forever. But Houston's had the ball 3 times, thrown an interception once, stopped on downs 2 other times, and they gave up a quick one. I mean, the first touchdown they gave up, you get away with, but when you give up an 80-yard touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill, you let him get that wide open. So now they're down by 10. Like I said, this wasn't going to be easy, even though they were up by 24 at halftime. 2 scores, and we've got a game, and Sacramento's got the ball.
In Sacramento, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th.
Green 90.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. This is screen to Abdullah. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Offense.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
Green 39. Green 39.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Mahomes now on first down. A dump off for Abdullah. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it a second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Mahomes to throw once more. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Green 90.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it's all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
They complete it to Hill, and he's going to get this inside the 30. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And his throw is incomplete. Kelsey, the intended receiver there, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Let's phrase this delicately, okay? Might have had a better option instead of throwing the football into double coverage.
He was blanketed. I was surprised that he went his direction.
Yeah, should have thought maybe about the check down. Take the completion, keep
offense.
moving.
So from 2nd and 10, it'll now go to 2nd and 15. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
Green 90. Green 90.
And again, it's Mahomes. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Blue 45.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 33. And the kick by Butker is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now.
He's got it at the 15. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 59 yards. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Black 22.
Watson hands this to Foreman. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. A 10-yard touchdown run. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Well, that was a quick hitter drive. They had the huge play to get him down near the goal line, and then they run it in. I don't know that the defense ever had a chance to catch their breath.
A lot of the time now when we see people hit big plays, and each team defines a big play their own way, 10, 15-yard gains. In this case, it was a huge gain. They often want to hurry up and go right away. Keep the momentum going, hit them again, and I think we just saw that there. The second play resulted in pay dirt.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need two of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down. Let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. Got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they had planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cole. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's up to 7 for 7 now on this drive alone. Now here's Mahomes. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. He'll get it up the middle. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know they're securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. They'll try to run it in. It's Williams. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Now Mahomes got to have this one. This is caught. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Travis Kelce, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And his guys are able to make this a close game again.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job one. Now they have to convert, and then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted, so many things to go through.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Again, it's Richard. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a give to Richard. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Black 22.
This is Richard. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. And looking at it from the perspective of the losing side here in this divisional round, it all ends so abruptly, doesn't it? A few hours ago, you've got all this hope and anticipation of maybe a deep run, and now you're out of it.
Well, let's applaud the team that won, and rightly so. They're moving on. They still have a chance to get to the big game. But let's not bury the team that lost. I think I do a lousy job of illuminating what a great year they had. Let's face it, when it's all said and done, they were one of 8 teams left with a chance to get to and win the Super Bowl. That's a pretty darn good season.
Okay, how about
So that's a
Deshaun
wrap for
Watson?
Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.
Upset complete. So we're going to look at the team stats real quick. How about Deshaun Watson? How about Hopkins? Hopkins had himself a game. Altogether, well, there's Sammy Watkins' numbers, 178 yards. But look at Hopkins, 185 yards, plus a huge 56-yard reception that led to a touchdown that sealed this game pretty much after Sacramento scored. I mean, Where is it? Here we go. Patrick Mahomes. 27 for 41, 375. Watkins, only 240. Watson, 248 yards throwing, but 3 touchdowns. And he just made some big plays. And the running game. Let's look at Houston's running game. Richard, 95. And Branham, 92. So they had 187 yards right there on the ground. Big reason they won this game. Look at Sacramento's running game. 24 and 29. 12 carries, 11 carries. So Houston did a great job. Houston. I'm telling them Houston because they are the team that moved from Houston. So that's why. But I just can't. I think that's the biggest game I've seen anybody have all year receiving, the 185 yards. And to do it in the playoffs. 30.8 average. 56 yards rack. I mean, what can you say? And nobody else was even close. Look at that. He was the only one in the top 6. All of them were Sacramento receivers. Tyreek Hill, he had 113 yards. He had a big touchdown. The next one is Demaryius Thomas, 2 receptions, 39 yards for San Antonio. There's Fuller and Wilcox. But if you look at why they won this game, man, it's Hopkins all the way, being able to get free. And he really has had a sort of a disappointing season up to this point. Wasn't as good as he should have been. Mahomes, 65.8% throughout. I mean, completion, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. Where's that at? Team stats. Here we go. 450, 63 to 213 yards rushing. That's why they won. Okay? I mean, it was just too little too late for Sacramento getting down that far. They couldn't stop the run game. And they're pretty good at that. Turnovers. Houston had 1, but it was just like a punt, to be honest. Possession time, Sacramento had the edge there. I mean, they had the ball more. But the inability to run, 63 yards, is really what did them in. Mahomes was sacked 5 times in the first half, but he was not touched in the second half. So what this does is it sets up a Texas shootout between the Marshalls and the Oilers in Houston. So Houston's actually going to be the home team. They've won 8 games in a row, but their last loss was to San Antonio. So it's going to be interesting to see who can get this championship. Again, they're going to play the NFL champion as well, whoever comes out of the NFC. But this championship, this game here is what matters for this league. And then that game basically will be the Super Bowl, but it's kind of like a exhibition game because the NFC teams, the way this is done is ratings are so much higher. So, I mean, who knows what can happen? They can still lose, but still. But it'll be fun. It's going to be Watson and Hopkins versus Mariota, who's also had a spectacular season, and Corey Davis, wide receiver. So this is going to be fun. San Antonio's got a lot of weapons. Houston has a lot of weapons. The running game is both pretty much by committee. So that's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. But this is for the championship. So long for now.